जैसे जानकारी का फोन करेंगे जैसे जानकारी का फोन करेंगे अपने ऑफिस सर वो मेरे ख्याल से 9 साढ़े 9 तक पहुँचेंगे रिवाइज में फोन करके पूछता हूँ नहीं सबसे पहले पंजाबी
Considering the topic pharmacological analysis for quality control of ASU&H drugs. Everybody knows that what is quality control because we all are in same field, and so we know that quality control is involves the process of maintaining the quality of our drug. In that our traditional systems of medicine, drugs means it may be a single drug or a form of formulation because that the single drug itself can act as a drug. So that's why it is known as single drug. That's raw material. For example, ginger. We know that ginger is one of the ingredients in the form of dry condition and also in fresh condition. It may be one of the ingredients in many preparations. But in the same case, it can act as a single drug for the for curing so many illness. As a home remedy is also as a single drug. That's why it is known as drug. And this quality control refers to confirmation of the identity of that single drug or even if it is a compound preparation also, and a determination of its quality, purity, and a detection of nature of other drugs. These all can be performed by pharmacognostically by microscopic identification and by chemical, physical, and physicochemical, and also biological testing. And when we are going for that quality control of successful drugs and compound formulation, we have to face two main major issues. One is not the external issue, another is internal issue. External issue involves contamination of that raw material or anything. Even finished product also because raw material if it is contaminated with the image, certainly it will come to the finished product also. There is adulteration and also misidentification. Adulteration, you know that what is adulteration because the original drug is substituted or replaced with another similar looking one or any other previous one. It is known as adulteration. And what is misidentification? Because there are different doctor names for our single drugs. So same drug is known as in different names in different places or different drugs known by same name in different places. This is also causes misidentification and also that also causes adulteration. In turn, it causes adulteration because, for example, Ashoka, very not plant. Ashoka actually remains quality one, a posted one, or otherwise maybe with some other similar to dress is the original one, and that also process maybe due to that ignorance from the side of collectors or due to this misidentification or inventory or everything process under trade. And this is internally it process the quality of the drug. That's why this identification is the main process in the quality control. And another important some of the issues are complexity of the drug. This I can easily explain like this. For example, in the case of paracetamol, you know that another drug contains only single compound. But in other, even for the single ingredient also, there are so many different chemical compounds present in that one. So if it comes in a compound formulation, again there are more complexity of that chemical compound. So this is also one of the issues which makes some trouble in the quality control even single drugs and single products. Another one is non-uniformity of the ingredients. Because in traditional systems of medicine, especially in the case of Ayurveda, because throughout India, Ayurveda is practiced. So even one formulation also contains more than 10 or 18 ingredients or 30 ingredients like that. Even for example, Kavanagh. In Standardization, there are so many areas. But in southernmost parts of India, they are using these 80 ingredients are different according to them. And when we are coming to this northern part of this India, there the ingredients are different. If that may be, there are so many reasons for that one. Maybe this identification is one of the reasons, and availability of the raw material is another reason. So all these causes is making a major issue in quality control. And what is the solution for this one? Here, the main role comes to this we as a regulatory authority. Because we can quickly implement that regulation. And we have to insist that manufacturing unit to follow that GMP rules. And also, we have to insist them to follow that formulation. If they are preparing hospitals, they should follow that hospital formulary and also pharmacopoeia. For the standard, they have to use pharmacopoeia and also for the formulation composition, they have to use that formulary. They have to follow that formulary. This everything and frequently means setting the manufacturing units also helps to some extent to maintain the quality of the product. And here I have already told that what is single track and formulation classical means all traditional systems of medicine. And this also everybody knows that our raw material, that is single track comes from the land origin and also material origin, and some of them are animal origin. And main part comes from the land origin. In kind of also different parts are in use. If it is all plant and it covers all the parts of that plant, it is very easy to identify. But if it is only a single part, especially in the case of bark, it is very difficult to identify because most of them are used in dry conditions. So during that drying process, its shape also changes. So it causes it is very different from the fresh condition. So in such cases, it is very difficult. So different parts of the plants are also used. In addition to different parts of that plant, some derived products are there. This is unauthorized drugs. That is derived product of that plant. It includes gums, resins, oleoresin, oleogum resin, solid extracts, just like Kumari extract and that juices and volatile oil, fixed oil, like all these comes under that derived product. This is also forms the ingredient of our finished product. And why we are going for that quality control? That also everybody knows that our main purpose is to maintain the quality of that finished product, and it should maintain that whatever quality we are means we are expecting from that drug as per the classical text, that we have to maintain. For that only we are going for the quality control. And now I am explaining about that quality control by pharmacognostic, especially botanical aspect of identification. It involves microscopy and microscopy. Along with that microscopy, we can include organoleptic evaluation also. Then next is that microscopy of the entire raw material, or it comes in the form of cut pieces also, and also it comes sometimes in the form of powder. So all these different forms we have to identify that raw material to maintain that quality of the raw material. What is microscopy? Microscopy is the study of that external morphology of that raw material, including its shape, size, using our naked eye, or at least we can use, if it is very small sized raw material, just like a seed, we have to use some hand lens to get the shape, size, external surface characters, everything. So in this macroscopic parameters, what all things we have to cover? Already told that we have to look into that shape of that raw material. If it is in entire form, that shape is very important. Otherwise, if it is in a cut form, that also some of the raw materials are at the time of processing, semi-processing, that is drying, it is cut into small pieces. That is also in uniformly, it is some specific size also they are maintaining at the time of chopping or cutting into small pieces. That also important for some of the drugs. And size already told that if it is entire, size is very important. Otherwise, if it is in fragmented form, we cannot go for that size. And another one is its surface character. That also very important. So according to that plant parts, we have already see that different parts of the plants are in use. So according to that different parts of the plant, all these parameters we have to cover for each and every part of that plant. See, if it is a root, in the case of root, rhizome, bulb, and comb, we have to see whether that it is a simple root, means that, is it a tap root or fibrous root, or if it is a tuberous root, or whether it is um, some underground, because everybody is some of the people are thinking that underground part of the part of that plant is constituted as root, but it is not like that. In some of the plants, the underground stem are also there. It is modification of stem. So that also very important. Whether it is a comb-like stem modification, or bulb-like stem modification, or rhizome, runner, some different terminologies are there. So that also very important if it is an underground part. And leaf
shows a vast variations, because if it is leaf, the useful part is leaf, or if this leaf is important when the material is whole plant, because if the raw material is whole plant, leaf also one of the part of that material. So sometimes it may be entire form, or sometimes in crumbled form, or fragments of that leaf. In any of the cases, from looking different samples of various samples of the same material, you will get an idea about whether it is a simple leaf or a compound leaf, or what are the parts of that leaf. Whether that if it is a simple leaf, how its lamina appears, whether it is a lobed one, or if it is a compound one, again how much degree of its whether it is simple paraffinate or imparaffinate, or it is uh, bipinnately compound or tripinnately compound, like that. Different degrees of compound nature is there. That everything, if you are looking into, if you are observing several, um, in such cases you have to observe a lot of samples of the same material. Then you will get idea about that leaf characters. And if it is entire, it is very easy to identify whether it is petioled or non petioled. Everything is important for specific plant. Similar way, in the case of whole plant, that leaf arrangement on the stem is also specific to each of the um, species, whether it is opposite, alternate, or world, like that. Because some specific family already shows some specific type of this phyllotaxy. The arrangement of leaf on the stem is known as phyllotaxy. That phyllotaxy is specific for each and every species. Even the margin also, whether it is entire margin, or is there any uh, toothed nature, and that toothed also, how much degree of its curvature is there. Everything is very important. And I already told that leaf surface character also very important, because leaf surface possesses some of the appendages like trichomes. This trichome, uh, there are so many functions for this trichome. Maybe it's protective function for that leaf, and also it has some secretory function also. It secretes some oil compound, everything. So in such aromatic plants, you will get a number of glandular trichomes. So everything is very, the surface nature, what all the surface appendages are there, everything is very important. And that leaf also, this trichomes also, depending upon the species, different types of trichomes are available with each plant. And if it is a fruit or seed, what all character to be identified? Because fruit, we know that may be single seeded or many seeded, and fruit, dry fruit, fibrous fruit, like that, different type of fruit um, forms are there. Similar way, seed also, how it appears, whether in the case of seeds, that dimension, shape, size, external surface, everything is very important. And its hilum also very important. In some, especially in the case of Fabaceae family, in all the seeds, you will get a raised hilum. So this is a specific character for that species. So according to that, each and every character, seed is also, the surface study of seed also very important. If the seeds are very small, then you have to use either a hair lens or a stereo microscope. It's not appearing. See, here I have given that picture of Sandalum album and a Chirocarpus sandalensis wood. If it is a hardwood, that we have to observe its color, heaviness, whether because in the case of sandalwood, the hardwood is very heavy when compared to uh, its sapwood. And sapwood means it is very light wood, and immature wood also. Sometimes means it is the same sandalwood itself, but if it is very young wood, weight is very less. So it is very lightweight. But if it is internal hardwood, very good quality wood, it is very heavy in nature, and its surface granular condition also very important for the wood, because that is the appearance of its ray cells. So it is very important in the case of hardwood. And in the case of bark also, when we are drying that bark, it gives different shapes. Think that picture is not coming. Uh, so sometimes it may be flat one, or otherwise it may be a curved one or recurved one, or if the bar side of you during that hands-on training, you can see that different types of, according to that shape of that uh, bark after drying, we are giving some technical terminologies to that one. Depending upon the curvature of that shape, it is different terminology for that bark. Flat or curved or channeled. Channeled means it may be a channel-like shape. And if it is single killed, one side may be curved to in the inner side. That is known as killed, single killed one. If it is both sides are curved inside, it is known as double killed. If it is just like this one, it is known as channeled. If it is just simply curved, it is known as curved. Sometimes it may be recurved one, just like in Colorina Park, you will get always recurved one. So that is one of the important character for the identification of Colorina Park. It always shows a recurved nature. There are certain reasons for that one also, because all this curvature is depending upon the cellular character, which type of cells are present in that one. Because you will not get that fiber in that Colorina bark, Kudaja bark. That its strength, everything is given by the stone cells only. Because of that one only, it shows recurved nature. And next one is, now we have covered that various macroscopic character. Under this microscopy, this organoleptic also very important one. Organoleptic parameter means using our sense organs, we have to identify its character. First of all, if we are getting that one, immediately we will check color, everything. So that color is one of the organoleptic character. And the next one is, certainly we will, whatever material we are getting, immediately we will touch that one. So its texture, how it feels to us, that is its texture. And another one is its odor, and the next one is taste and its structure. This color you already know, and the texture also, depending upon how it feels, it may be soft or rough one, like that. Various characters are there, and a similar way, order also very important. And for taking that order, whenever we are collecting some material from the market, immediately will not get any smell, because already it is storing for a long period and it is already exhausted. Surface smell is all, maybe there are chances for exhausting that smell. So we have to break into that. Either we can break that material and we can take the smell. Otherwise, we have to make into small pieces and keep it in a cover, plastic bag, and then we can open that one and we can take that actual smell. Otherwise, we have to powder it and similar way keep it in the uh, polythene bag, and when we are opening that one, what smell we are getting, that is its actual smell. Similar way for taking that taste also, there are some standard procedure for that one. First, we have to powder that material, and we have to first we have to wash our mouth with water, and then wet a glass rod and take some powder and keep it on our tongue, and what taste in that time we are getting, That is the actual taste of that material. Otherwise, if we are just chewing that external surface, we will not get the actual taste. And in such cases, even if we are going for odor and taste, first of all, we have to go to the its literature also. If it is any poisonous substances in that one, don't go for that for taking its odor and also for the taste. And fracture. What is meant by fracture? Fracture means when we are breaking a material, especially this is applicable for the bark and also for root, stem, such materials, it is very much applicable. Whenever we are breaking that material into two, applying that pressure, how its content appears, that is its fracture. That is the nature of its fracture. So it may be just like in aconitum, if we are cutting it, surface will be cut surface will be very smooth. In such cases, we will call it as short. And sometimes some granular appearance will be there, granular, and some spindle fibers like some spindle, some protrusions are there. That time it is known as splintery. And if it is fibrous, just like if we are breaking that ginger into two, that time because of that fibrous nature, we cannot make into two. You have to use some knife and other thing. So in such cases, we can call it as fibrous. And another is laminated. In laminated, mainly it is observing bark. That is also in different layers, we will get that arrangement of cells. So the different, we will get various layers of different colors in that bark. That type of its fracture is known as laminated. It is mainly observing in bark. And the next one is microscopy. Microscopy, we know that it is using some means microscopic internal characters using a microscope. For that, we have to take sections or we have to make it into powder. Even sections also maybe in entire plant or maybe the cut pieces. In that time, we have to take section. See, for I have already told that we have to take either a hand section or using a microscope, we can take sections. And that section we have to mount on a slide and we have to observe. For before mounting, we can use some media also for mounting that one. Usually mounting media is glycerin. Otherwise, for clearing that material, usually we are using that chloral hydrate. It is a very good clearing agent also because whatever some extraneous substances like some starchy appearance and also some more oily appearance, more mucilaginous appearance, everything can be removed by treating that material with chloral hydrate, even the powder or section. So after that, clearing that one, we can observe that the crystals may be clearly observed in that such treated sections or in the powder. Because this, without giving any stain or anything, we can easily observe this one. Otherwise, if we are treating with some other reagents, sometimes these calcium oxalate crystals or something will be, there are chances for disappearing such characters. So first of all, for after clearing, we have to observe that presence of crystals. That also different types of crystal. That form also very important. And next, we have to use some different reagents to localize its starch. Presence of starch, we are usually using that iodine solution. Then immediately some granular some inclusions will be there in each cell. It may be a starch or some other compound. So to confirm that one, usually we are using iodine solution. And a similar way, fluoroglucinol and concentrated HCl is used for identification of lignified cells. And its localization is also very important. Where are these lignified cells located in the section? That is very important for the identification of each species. Similar way, treating with the perchloride, tannin can be identified. And using Sudan for Sudan red or Sudan black, we can identify this oil globules. If it is Sudan red, it will be reddish orange color. If it is Sudan black, the oil globule will be black in color. Something happened to this picture. I'm telling that if we are going for the microscopic study of that leaf, we have to observe its petiole characters and also for the interip characters. We do go to this bark. Similar way, we have to take section of that bark and to observe under the microscope. If it is a bark, what all character we have to observe under this microscope? Because bark is, we know that it is the external portion of that stem and it contains that cork and also the cortex and inner following region. So all these characters, what all lignified cells are there and what are the inclusions in that one, whether crystals are present or starch grains are present, and lignified cells also, whether it is stone cells or fibers, what all, means the various types of this, all this structure you have to identify, and this is specific to each and every species. See, first we have seen that Spondea pinnata bark. See, it is different from the bark of Cinnamomum vera. Here you can see some of the cavities. These cavities are its mucilaginous cavities, and you will get some. These are the fibers. It is not lignified fiber in the case of this um, cinnamon bark. So this is also very important. But in the case of other one, you have already seen that lignified bark. So even though all basic character will be same in different type of tissues will be same for different barks, but it's which type of that cell. Fiber is present in many of the barks. So that fiber nature and its appearance and also that localization also very important for each and every bark. And if it is a flower, we know that with that floral structures, immediately we can identify means, the flower is the important part of a plant, which is very much helpful for the identification of species. So if flower in dry condition also, we have to immediately soak that material and we can identify different words of that flower and immediately we can identify that flower. But if it is in some crumbled form or if it is in powder, which means in cut pieces, that time again you have to observe more characters and which part comes to that petal part and the sepal part, everything you have to observe. This is the fruit character. I am giving an example to identify that fruit. Here I have given that funiculum vulgare fruit, and here what all character, whether it is how many seeds are there. Here it is a Apiaceae family. It belongs to Apiaceae family. It has a specific nature for all the fruits. In such cases, this mericarp is very important. How its shape, that shape of mericarp is very important for the all fruits of Apiaceae family. And this is the Abrus precatorius. This is a common example for such a seed. Because in a seed, there are some seed got specific cells. Some palisade-like elongated cells will be there. That is the one of the layer of that seed coat. Its shape and its length, size, everything is different according to that species. The next one is some heartwood. Heartwood, I have already told that granular appearance is very important because that medullary ray gives the granular appearance to that wood. So this is the Santalum album wood. If it is heartwood, we have to take cross section and also longitudinal section for observing its important character. Here that sandal, it is very good fragrant sandal oil is there. That oil is present in the parenchyma cells and also in the it comes to the vessels also. So if it is a good quality sandalwood, you will get that oil in parenchyma cells and also in the medullary rays and also in xylem vessels. And the next hardwood is Chirocarpus. Here also for getting complete character, we have to take the longitudinal section also because here that medullary rays are single seriated. Then another under microscopy, another important parameter is that leaf constant values. This is applicable to the leaves only. And that also it is more important, diagnostically important if there are some related species of leaves are in use. These parameters are stomatal number, stomatal index, palisade ratio, and Weinert number. For this one, stomatal number and stomatal index, first of all, we want to know that what is stomata and which types of stomata is present in that leaf. There are typically main 4 different types of stomatas are there. It is parasitic. Means all these names are it is classified based upon the its subsidiary cells and the presence of subsidiary cell and how it is arranged along with that stomata. That is based on that one only is classified. In parasitic, the subsidiary cells are arranged parallel to that guard cells. And in diacytic, it will be right angle to the guard cell. Similar way, in the anisocytic, there will be 3 subsidiary cells and all these 3 are unequal in size. That's why it got the name anisocytic. Then in anemocytic, there will not be any subsidiary cell, only epidermal cell and stomata. This epidermal cell may be wavy or straight walled. According to that species, that also varies. And counting that stomatal number and epidermal cell, we have to calculate that stomatal index using the formula stomatal S divided by E plus S. S stands for number of stomata, E stands for number of epidermal cells, and it should be total number. It is multiplied by 100. It is the representation of how many stomata is present along with that total epidermal cells. Then palisade ratio. Palisade ratio is average number of palisade cell under each palisade epidermal cell, single epidermal cell. For this one, we are taking the number of palisade cells under 4 closely laying 4 under the palisade cells of 4 epidermal cells, and it is divided counting that one and divided by 4, we will get the palisade number. Similar way, Weinert number also, all for counting that palisade ratio and the Weinert number, you have to make it transparent. That leaf should be transparent. For that one, if it is an entire leaf or fragment of leaf, you have to treat it with potassium hydroxide or sodium hydroxide. Then you will get that you can observe its external character. On upper surface, you will get that stomata, and next focus you will get if it is upper epidermis, focusing upper epidermis, you will get that palisade cells. Like that, you can count all these palisade cells. Similar way, here that picture is not coming. We will share this presentation also because in my it is not appearing here. Let me show you some other slides also. This is powder microscopic identification. Next, I already told that under microscopic study, we have to observe that entire plant material, or otherwise we have to observe that powder form. In powder form, first of all, we have to take a, if powder may be fine powder or coarse powder. If it is fine powder, we can directly use that powder for our study. Usually, whatever we did for the section, similar way here also, we can treat it first with the chloral hydrate or other, then we can use different histochemical stains for the localization of different cellular inclusions. And we can observe its various characters in cellular form. Now I am showing some of the characters. This is the leaf powder characters of Justicia adatoda, and this is whole plant of Vedalia chinensis. Here, if it is whole plant, certainly root will be there, stem will be there. So xylem vessels also very important. In xylem vessel, there will be different type of thickening also. That thickening also for each species, that is very important. Usually, in the case of stem and root, you will get that maybe that pitted thickening and bordered pitted thickening. That is very advanced type of thickening in the case of vessels. But in the case of rhizomes, usually you will get that reticulate spiral type of thickening, because this is primitive character, and in rhizome we will get, because it is not that much developed. Vascular bundles are not that much developed when compared to root and stem, because it undergoes secondary thickening also. Here we cannot expect that secondary thickening. So the xylem vessels is very important according to that species. This is a powder character of a flower. Here, in the case of this flower, we will certainly will get that epithelial cells of the anther lobe. That also very important. And petal surface characters and its appendages. Appendages means which type of trichomes are present on the petals and sepals. And here I am giving some comparative, because now we have covered that microscopic study also. See the different anatomical characters of two roots, because this is the eagle marmelos root and its adult trend. Usually, Atlantium monophylla roots are coming in the market in the form of adult trend. Here, see the center that I already told that basic structure will be similar for maximum all the roots, but it's how the here vessel in the wood region, usually that elements are xylem vessel, xylem trachea, parenchyma, such elements are there. But how it appears in the cross section, that is very important, and how that vessels also are arranged, that also very important. Size also very important. Usually in the market, we are always facing the problem of Saraka. So many, these are, as per literature, there are so many other trends. But in the market, usually Polyalthia and Shoria robusta. Maximum Shoria robusta bark comes in the market. See, this is the Shoria robusta anatomy of that Shoria robusta bark. This is another adult trend. I will show you some of other slides, because here it is not coming. And I already told that in for the identification of formulation also, this powder microscopy can be applied, especially in the case of churna, where we can these raw materials are used as such in the powder form, and even in a vadi gudika also. Here I have given one example of ASU Padachurn. Here 4 ingredients are in use, and these are the powder characters observed from this powder of that churna. Here, these are the powder characters of tulasi. In the case of tulasi, leaves are in use. So, its epidermal cells can also be, we can observe that leaf characteristic, because for the tulasi leaf, it has anisocytic stomata and anocytic stomata. Both we can observe. And the different types of trichomes are the glandular trichomes and also multisediate, unisediate trichomes. And oil globules also you can observe. And the next ingredient is cinnamon bark. Here also, I already told that cinnamon has non-lignified fibers. It's called non-lignified fibers. That also you can observe from the powder. And main C-shaped stone cells are there, because only three-sided thick-walled cells. That stone cells also you can observe from the powder, and its starch grains also you can observe. And and another one is Hyper nigra fruit. Here, that important characters are um, beaker shaped cells. You can observe in the fourth picture of this one. And its perisperm cells also very important. Similar way in ginger rhizome, see the reticulate xylem vessels. That is very specific of that one, and its starch grains also very important. So, using all these parameter, you can identify, using pharmacognostic parameter, you can identify that main single drugs and also the ingredients in the formulations. So that also usually we are going, if the ingredient number is usually if it is 10, usually we are, even for the standard also you can take the standard only for the 10 ingredients only. But if it is more than 10, usually we are not going. But if a specific material, if a specific ingredient you want to observe from that one, you can observe such a character from the formulation. So using all these pharmacognostic parameter, you can maintain that the quality of single drug and also the finished product. And some, I think in my presentation, some of the pictures are not appearing. I think in my pen drive it is there. So, we will share that presentation also. So yeah, and everything you can see today during our hands-on training also.
Hands-on training in the pharmacy, the guidance of you can also interact with we can continue to the next lecture.
If you have any question, you can ask. Because now I have told that what all character you have to observe in under pharmacognostic parameter. But how that slide preparation, everything we have to do, that I didn't, here I didn't explain that one. That you will get from the hands-on training, because it will take more time. Yes. Yes, yes. No, that's why I told that if some of the raw material are toxic, we don't, no need to go for its taste and odor. Some other parameters are there. Microscopic characters are very, it is very cheap, and that is whatever you can, just you have to take a small, because all this material, especially this homeopathy raw materials are comes in the market in the form of very small pieces. So even then, small piece you can take the cross section, and then in a small, very less than 1 mm thick, size section itself, you can observe n number of cells. Means that much cells are there. So that will help for the identification of that material. Because this order and taste is only 2 parameters. There are other so many parameters are there, like especially that microscopic character.
So next, there is
Good morning, everyone. So here we talk about the my topic is how to ensure the quality in raw material used in the IU system or ASU&H pharmacopoeia. So when we talk about the anything ingredient related or product related, so a common question is in our mind. Let's talk about the how we get replacing that. When we talk about the any ingredient, a very common ingredient that tea. Just we talk about the tea that water, tea, milk, sugar is their ingredient. And when we talk about the value addition, we have to add whatever we like. That maybe the cardamom, ginger, black pepper, whatever is the ingredient you want to your requirement as per your requirement. And the basic thing is we require equipment, process, and serving. These are the step of the any product. And after that, we get the things. We can say that we really feel that we are refreshed or not. So when we get the things, whatever we want, we will be happy, or otherwise we will be sad. So same type of the question is with us that about the quality. And when we talk about the quality product, so the composition factor is the main part. And when we talk about the composition, it's the ingredients, equipment, process, value addition, and services, all the part of the any product. And the, the things which are affecting the product is the material, machine, method, and man. Here we discussed about the material because we know that for our product, in our product, we require the raw material or uh, materials which are processing for the product development. And it's connected with the machine method, and main impact is the man who is related with all the things. So the question is arising in our mind is that can we control or ensure the quality? So we can, yes. Or why do we wish to control or ensure the quality? Due to for the safety or efficacy of the drug. And how can we ensure quality, safety, and efficacy of the drugs? Uh, by adopting the quality standard raw material and process. So these are the factors which are the part of the quality. Quality control of IU drug depending upon the quality control raw material. Second is the we get the quality material with the help of good agriculture practices, good manufacturing practices, with the help of regulatory specification, and storage is also the part of these parameters. So here we know that in our product we are using different type of material. That basically 90% is our material is plant origin, and remaining is animal origin, mineral metal, chemical origin, or in the homeopathy we can see microbes, nosode, and sarcodes also is in processes. So we are focusing here about the plant material. That plant origin we can categorize in two division. One is the organized and second one is the unorganized. When we talk about the organized, we are using the samples in the whole form. It may be root, stem, bark, or seed, whatever the part is part of the processing on product, it comes under the organized material. When we take the secondary metabolism with the help of their secretion part or other form of the plant material, it may be the aloe juice or latex, gelatin, whatever these are the part of, comes under the unorganized step. So when we talk about the plant origin or the resources of the plant origin, we have the three resources. One basically is the cultivation, and second one is the from the forest collection, or third one is the commerce from the market. So here we discussed about the quality of raw material, because we know that the in the laboratory we are using the testing parameter, but the quality start from the material. So whenever we get the correct material, authentic material, or the quality material, that time we know that we get the quality product. So it's very much important that we have the material is from the good resources and have a good quality. So the basic we are studying that quality agriculture, matlab good agriculture practices and good collection practices is a part of the quality. So this is the definition that medicinal plant is the cultivation program designed for the ensure the optimal yield of the terms in both quality and quantity of any crop intended for the health purposes. Means if whatever we get that have the quality product and have the quantity, whatever the phytochemicals we want in this should be there. So that time the material is we have is the quality material. For this, we have to this good agriculture practices have to, different steps that these are divided as basically four categories: site selection, soil and climate, seed propagation, and crop management. When we talk about the site selection, we have to know that where we are growing our materials or what medicinal plant that should be far away from the area of like the industrial area or any hospitals or whatever. The area should be far away from the dangerous places or have the soil contamination area. So we have to select first the site selection that should be proper or should be genuine places. And for second one is the soil and climatic condition. We should aware that which kind of plant material we want, that how is their soil and how is their climate. This very much affect the quality of the raw material or quality of the medicinal plant. Here is some examples that these are some common medicinal plants that tulsi, neem, gamji, amla, or ritrika. This type of the so many commonly used medicinal plants that require their how is their soil should be soil and their climate should be for the propagation. So this one second is coming after that the soil selection or soil or climate, that is the seed or propagation material. We have to aware that the seed we are using is a certified seed. That seed should be free from any kind of contamination, infection, or microbes, or the how is we are the material we are using, that their propagation material. Some basically most of the germination we go through the seed, but the propagation can be done with the help of bulbs, forms, tubers, rhizomes, runners, suckers, etc. And then crop management for the cultivation. The after the sowing the seed, the management system is also the basic part of the any cultivation processes. That during the processing we have to know that the moisture proper maintained, their irrigation should be proper way, and during the cultivation that uprooting of weeds or proper pest management should be there. We should have to use organic fertilizer for these. Uh, Keep away from the chemical organizer fertilizer, because it affects the phytochemical constituents of the drug. And after the good agriculture practices, we go through the good collection practices. It's also important for the cultivation of raw material. Actually, here we divided our presentation in two parts. The agriculture means cultivation processes. After the cultivation, the processing processes come under the good field collection processes. In the this is the definition of the good field collection processes. That context of the medicinal plant is harvesting packaging, storage, and the transportation. Basically, we can say that harvesting, their processing, after that their processing, their drying process, and their packaging, and their storage or transportation. These all comes under the good field collection. So here the basic points are site selection is also important here when we talk about the cultivation. It's a controlled area where we want to collect or where we are cultivate our product. But when we talk about the field collection, it's from the forest. We should aware that which kind of plant we want or what is our requirement. So we have to first aware that whatever we plant required or plant material required, where it's from. So site selection is very much compulsory that we have to collect our material from the plain region or from the high altitude region. So site selection is the one first part of the any collection processes, and then compliance to the regulatory requirement before going to the any collection. We have some or we have the authority from there. We have to take permission before start our cultivation processes. And then harvest and collection management, we should aware that what is the requirement for these processes, and then after the collection we have to go with the harvest management, cleaning processes, and then packaging, and then and these are also the part that your document we are using there during this processes. And documentation is very much important for the all process. It's a part of the good agriculture practices also, and collection of process also. Then who is working with us is trained person and healthy person, and record keeping is also the part of the documentation. So already we talked that site selection, that we have to aware that the habits, the plant habits, and where we can get the area, and consider factor is that soil type or everything is the part of the collection process, because we have that time a field book there we have to enroll or add all the description about the plant material. So when we talk identification during the cultivation, a person who is knowing about the plant material, who is well aware about the identification of material, because this step is start with the process identification. So the material, if you want that from most of the leaf, like the Centella asiatica leaf, the same type of so many leaves that is in the round shape or shape of the leaves are basically similar. That time a common person can collect anything which is looking similarly. So that time a person who is the taxonomy person or who is the knowledge of identification of plant material, he or she will collect the material which well identified. So identification with the help of the published pharmacopoeia, with the taxonomical book, or with the help of herbarium. So first we prepared our list, whatever we want to collect, and then first study about their features, and keep the record or some points regarding those plants, and then we start for the collection process. So during the harvest and collection process is also some points we have to remind, that to collect only mature healthy plants, because whatever we plant is collected for our testing purposes, for the production purposes. That time we know that the plant should be at mature form, and whatever part is with we want, we that have the fully required phytochemicals with these. So the material should be collected in the mature, or it should be the healthy, and avoid rare and endangered species. And we being the part of these systems, or we as much know that we have to aware that the material how much we want, that much we have to collect, and remaining will be remain there for the further process, and leave in a plant for nature regeneration. So suppose we want some seeds, that time we have to collect 70% seed and 30% seed should be there. So next generation will come with these remaining seeds or remaining parts of the plant. Then after the collection, we go through the post harvest management. This is the very much important, as here we discussed that we feel can this is the very common or very rare processes. No need to go very much these processes, but this is common but basic part for any drug development or any product material should be clean. After the collection of the plant material, we should know that the washing of the material should be in proper way. That for the root or rhizome is very much compulsory, or other part also, because when we collect the material or we didn't wash this material with proper way, that time we know that our total ash will be more during the process of testing. So removing of inorganic material or any part which are not the part of the product should be very much compulsory, and 2 or 3 steps of the washing is compulsory for the collected material. Then packaging and storage is also important. Proper After the proper drying of the materials, drying can be in sunlight, or we can use machines for the drying, or drying should be 30 to 40 degrees centigrade is common for the drying process. Basically 35 to 40 is basically commonly, but for the uh, bark or for the rhizome we can go 50 degrees centigrade also. And their storage free from the site should be free from any type of contamination. It keep away for the wall area and keep away from the floor area. So any kind of moisture or any kind of contamination should be not there. After that, machinery equipment is also the different part that is the part of this processing that we have to carry initial to during the collection process. These are some basic requirements that we have the separators or bags, labels, and GPS devices, which is very important during the collection process, and maintaining hygiene to prevent the contamination. Hygiene should be a person who is a healthy uh, or well aware should be with the part of the field collection, and documentation is very much important for each and every step. That during the collection I told you that we have the field book that where we add all the details regarding the collected material, that how is their temperature, their altitude, latitude, or their surrounding area, like all the things, all details as per the listed we can add for the documentation and the for further information also. Sometimes we collected the material and this material are not enough what we want. That time we details can help for the further collection process. And then training and monitoring is also the part of this processing, because who is the person working with us has well trained and well known person, and person should know that about the importance of material, because the person who didn't know about the importance of these things, they will not take care of about these processes, because they simply collect and keeping any type of container, or no need to know that the segregation is proper done or not, or their documentation is done or not. So those person who is involved in this type of work should know that the importance, should know about the all the process which are the part of this collection process. Now, after the good agriculture or good collection processes, we are coming to the quality assessment, because here we discussed about the quality raw materials. So these all things are come from the beginning, means collection, cultivation, then collection, then assessment. After the collecting the raw material from the any sources, as I told you that maybe due to the cultivation, due to the collection from the forest or commerce, the next parameter is some quality assessment. For these process, we have uh, two categories, that is standards or parameters. Standards, we can say that pharmacopoeia standards or any legal standards we are following. And second one is the parameter. It may be the in-house parameters, or it may be the another published books or research papers, anything which we follow to the find out the quality of the. So when we talk about the protocol or sample analysis, this is the very basic, or it's also the part of our pharmacopoeia, that we have to follow these parameters to assessment of the quality. So identity, with the help of macro or microscopy, we can identify the materials, and with the help of PLC or HPLC, also the part of the identity. And when we know about the purity of the drug, we have to go through these three parameters, and for the strength, we we already discussed that identification microscopy already, Madam told you that it's very cheap, very common, or very primary parameter we have to apply. Because when we go through the chemical parameter, we know that time we required chemicals, instruments, so many things which are very much costly. But when we talk about the macroscopy is very cheapest that we identify with the help of naked eye. So the very first quality assessment with the help of proper cultivation. During the when we take the material or certified seed, so we know that the whatever we are getting is the quality and is the identified or correct material. Although when we not collect it from the cultivation and we collect from the forest or commerce, that time we go through the macroscopy or microscopy parameter. Because in our system we are also in our section we are doing first these parameters for identification of any material. If the material is failed in the identification, that time no need to go for the further process. So we this is a very common or very easiest parameter to identify macroscopy. But microscopy is taking too much time, and it's not nowadays no one is interested in this type of the study, because we also not getting the person who is involved in this type of work, because most of the person is involved in the instrumentation of phytochemicals, HPLC, or others. So these all parameters we already discussed, microscopy. Now the quality specification. Whatever we result we get with those we required that find the limitation and their whatever we are getting is correct or not, its limits is okay or not. With these regulatory specification, or I already told that pharmacopoeia take the help for the find out that whatever result we are getting is matching with our regulatory books or matching with the other regulatory books. So these are required as maybe regulatory specification or non-regulatory. So this is the when we talk about the pharmacopoeia, that pharmacopoeia is nothing that we can say a compilation of parameters or compilation of information. So many different we have the definition for the pharmacopoeia. It is a common pharmacopoeia is a collection of monographs where we minimum standards visible under the given circumstances are drawn up subject to revision and scrutiny. So whatever we have getting the parameters or whatever we parameters we required, if we can compare with the published pharmacopoeia regulatory parameters. We have these are some official pharmacopoeia that for the ASU&H we are publishing here, and for the allopathy Indian pharmacopoeia is there. We have another session for detailed lecture about this. This is the Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia. We have that time single drug pharmacopoeia 1 to 6 volume, mineral metal 7 and 10 volume, extract 9 and 10 volume. So you can see their points that titles in all the pharmacopoeia is similar. So we can say science should be the similar for the all pharmacopoeia, but difference is coming in the properties or action and formulation. But the botany, chemistry, microbiology, everything should be remain same for the each. Here you see that with the pharmacopoeia we have the single drug volumes, 2 volumes, and also their titles is same. Difference we can get in the only properties, action, or importance of formulation. Next is Unani pharmacopoeia. We have 7 volumes, part 1, and part 2 we have 4 volumes. This is the homeopathic pharmacopoeia. We have nowadays we have 11. This year we also published one volume, volume 11. So what it also includes here. And Indian pharmacopoeia also have some herbal monographs there. For during this analysis process, we require the regulatory parameter, so we can take the help of these pharmacopoeia for identify that whatever we get our result is matched with these or not. These are some other is our supplementary pharmacopoeia, which is very nice pictorial photograph is there during the process of microscopy. It can take the help to identify that how is the cells and their. So now you see that here a person is servant is very much confused about this egg. That the egg it belongs from where? Is it insect or chicken? That time, same type of confusion we also getting it during our testing processes. That time have we have the reference standard, because reference standard is the primary reference substances that have the appropriate quality within the specified context and are accepted without requiring comparison with the another. So here we talk about the botanical reference standard. As madam already told that in the commerce we find the material. If we talk about the leaves are comes in the crumpled and powder form, and all the leaves are looking same. That time the confusion is very much that these leaves belong from where. So when they give us that these leaves may be Egelmarmonus leaf, Nimba leaf, whatever leaf, that time we should know that we have one botanical reference standard, means authentic raw material for the comparison. So these botanical reference standard is the assist in the confirming the identity of the plant drug used by the industry, any person, to any resource person who is the part of this identification of this plant materials or this research purposes and who is connected with these type of work. That time they have to develop their botanical reference standard. If they are working on the 10 or 12 materials, that time they should collect 12 plant material and they can purchase, or they can uh, internally develop their botanical reference standard with the help of the regulatory parameters. That time we should have these type of botanical reference standard. So when we talk about the botanical reference standard, that first step is the procurement of source material, maybe market from the self collection, whatever. But we have the first raw material. That raw material is tested with the help of regulatory parameters, and then sample analyzed laboratory should be analyzed in laboratory with the help of regulatory parameters. And after when we collect their result, we documented it this in the proper way, and a person who is the authority for this type of work should be checked by his or her that this is the correct result, or this certificate is correct. So keep the document, and then the material should be storage or containerized, or then we keep the label or seal the file for the further reference purpose. And this is the ready for the distribution or for the further work. This is the some level, what kind of level we required on the reference material. That is their name, their category, batch number, or quantity, address of the tube. Whatever is the basic requirement is required for the material should be labeled with the this type of the we have to develop for the botanical reference standard, that where we can give the one ID for the material, and their name, family, their morphological parts, which are the parts which is root or leaf or stem or root plant, and the organelles character with the help of macroscopic character and microscopic diagnostic character, some specific features which are the part of with that material, and other chemical parameters, whatever is the part of these. So this is the see that BRF or authentic material will shine, because these material go through the different steps. First step cultivation collection processes, then it goes for the assessment processes, then it go with the analytical parameters. That time naturally we get the quality material. So when we have the quality material, naturally we get the quality product. Dr. Lalit will explain you. We have one portal for the digital farming. Yes, payment will be done on the Bharat portal. Actually, this is the difference with certified material. When simply that we collect the material, self-collect, collection. Suppose we collect some animal leaf or any collection, it's a very common. But when we collect from the certified places, that the charges will hide that material. But जैसे that अगर कोई जैसे एक अच्छा मतलब इंडस्ट्री है, तो बड़ी इंडस्ट्री के पास तो है ना, सेल्फ उन लोगों का अब तो सेल्फ कल्टीवेशन है, तो उन लोगों का पूरा ही डॉक्यूमेंटेशन होता है। और अब तो नेशनल मेडिसिन प्लांट बोर्ड है, बहुत सारी जो मतलब फर्म है, क्योंकि अभी हमारे यहाँ लीगल नहीं है, अदर कंट्रीज में बहुत जगह ये लीगल है कि आपको सर्टिफाइड मटेरियल ही लेना है।
Places also it is already started. Even in Kerala, some of the cultivators have already some tie up with this Quality Council of India, and they are giving this quality certification with these cultivators. So whatever product they are cultivating, it is authenticated. First, they have to go for all this purity analysis, everything, and along with that one, there are some procedure also. They have to maintain all this procedure, and based on that one, this quality council is giving certification for that one. But it is voluntary. So for them, it will get good. They can uh, demand more price also for such a material. But it is very good quality. I think if everybody is ready for that one, certainly it also will implement, can be implemented. Yes. Yes, poor. We are also at the time of our market survey time also we saw that many exhausted materials are there. So many contaminated materials are also there. And actually, if according to us, we will tell that you should be strict with these manufacturers. You have to tell that because there are some, even though if it is not reported, there are some shelf-life period for its raw material. Means that they should maintain that shelf life of the raw material also. Accordingly, if it is exhausted one, they should not keep in their premises. That's why now see one or two means some of the cultivators, if they started, if they are ready for this self certification, voluntary certification, and others also, and they will get a good price also. So this will means give motivate others also. So they will also go for. So in near future we can expect such a raw material market with a traceability certificate. It will not be there if we are going. If
Actually, ये तो initiation है ना.
all departments should work together for to get a solution for this one. Then only we can maintain quality for this raw materials also.
ये पैसे हैं कि हम लोग मार्केट से कुछ वेजिटेबल्स लेते हैं और कुछ ऑर्गेनिक फार्म से लेते हैं, तो वो कितना डिफरेंस है. तो जब वो मतलब प्राइस हाई है तो क्वालिटी वो पूरा मेंटेन करके सर्टिफाई करके देते हैं. या जैसे स्मॉल इंडस्ट्री की बात करते हो तो नहीं होता. पार्ट है कि हम लोग को टाइम टू टाइम मार्केट सर्वे करना है. तो हम लोगों ने मतलब मार्केट से पहले बात अगर उनको पता लगता है कि कोई ऑर्गेनाइज कलेक्शन के लिए आ रहा है तो दे विल नॉट रेडी टू. मतलब आपको एक कॉमन पर्सन बन के जाना, आपको उनको ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि उनको कोई नेशनल मेडिसिन प्लांट हो. Their person They have a range, not particular 10 to 15 range is there. During the development of the park, open number of houses connected to different locations. At that time, we get a average score.
Are also we tried. We are not able to get into that actually. Now this issue have to be addressed very clearly by the regulatory because since we are running a commercial laboratory, most of the inspectors are looking for reference standards. And especially in the case of Ayurveda, like as you said, like you can give us with the BRS.
Sir, from our website, you will get a list of 100 BRS list.
So is there any list that you have generated?
Yes, it is already there.
Or something like that?
From recently, we have uploaded that.
At the end of this training, can we have the list of
Yes,
BRS
yes,
you
sure.
can give it to the industry?
Yes, it is already there. On our website, we have already published that list of 100 BRS samples,
Right.
which are ready to share with others.
But one more thing, like you have mentioned about assay on acid base. It is in BRS or phytochemical reference?
Assays,
I have seen in the slide that assay acid base.
that is only
In the
for
case of
phyto.
BRS, it is possible.
In BRS, we are giving
Or what you are going to make
assay also needed. Assay also we are including because in COA report, sir, sir, we are giving that.
you have any example of it? Can you show it to us?
No, it's
In
not.
BRS reference standard you have. In assay is being marked.
Not, sir.
Why was showing assay on assay?
Sir, till time nobody approached us for such a BRS. Even that's why, first of all, we have nearly 150 samples, and we are keeping it only for 1 year. And in each year, we have to replace it with a new collection because after 1 year, it will be exhausted. So we have to replace it with a new collection. That's why now we have only 100 samples, and nobody is approaching us for that material also. So now again we are facing another problem because not yet we fixed that price also, because if we are giving that raw material with the passport data, we are giving 100 grams with 1,000 rupees. Only that passport data means when we have collected that plant date of collection, place of collection, all these and its identification using that microscopic features. And if we are giving BRS with the COA report, price will be different. So that is what we have fixed because nobody approached us for such a BRS with a certificate of analysis, including that chemical profiling and assay also. Yes.
Yeah, sure, sir. I think we have also a hands-on session in the cognosis section under the guidance of Jayanti madam. So you will get the chance there also to interact with ma'am and see the BRS, PRS and all the museum samples. So I think we should move for our another lecture. So I will request Jayanti madam to kindly felicitate our guest Satyavrat Mehti sir. Like, Satyabrat Maitri sir is the former director of Directorate of Medicine and Aromatic Plant Research, Anand. This is the wing of ICAR. He is also the expert consultant in QCI and various organizations. Sir, his expertise on the plant pathology and medicinal plants, and also integrated crop management and good agriculture practices. So, sir is a very renowned personality in the field of medicinal and aromatic plants. Sir will give the lectures on the good agriculture and collection practices of medicinal plants. So, I will request sir to kindly deliver the lecture.
Thank you, Dr. Lalit, for elaborating so many things. I don't know. I think they let them judge that what I am. I think that would be the better. Good morning to all of you. Since he has already told that what would be my topic will be good agricultural and collection practices. I think all of you, those who are associated with this sector, they understand that what is the importance of road drug. And road drug, if you, I would like to say that in Ayurveda, of course, that sometimes raw drug is being used directly as a medicine. But in our case, what we would like to not take it up because Ayurvedic industry, or rather, I should say the Indian medicinal system, they are that various like Unani, Siddha, and others also come forward, homeopathy. So there, the quality concern is the main thing. People are even the Western world and the advanced world. They are always have a kind of doubt that what is the quality of the Indian system. So you know that in nowadays a lot of what is called uh, uh, food the sector. They are also claiming that it has a lot of medicinal value. Uh, and but one thing you will find that this label, what I have given on the paper board, you will find that there it has been very clearly mentioned that quality will change as per the season. Even in the dance of the bees, also sometimes you will find that the quality change. This is, all this. But in our sector, in this medicine sector, we cannot take that kind of plea and tell that certain circumstances equality can be compromised. So under no circumstances industry can compromise with the uniformity and efficacy of the system. So that is the question is that if you look into that raw drug, so what are the challenges before the ISS Indian system of medicine? You will find that first is ensuring safety. Second thing is ensuring right efficacy. And third thing is ensuring free from contamination. And what are the contaminations? Contamination is mainly because it comes from either comes from the cultivation or from the collection. So contamination are pesticides, heavy metals, aflatoxin, and microbial. These are the four contaminations, and that creates our raw drug infection. Now come to that major contaminants and their sources. Where from it comes, how it comes. If you see the source of contamination, the pesticide comes from the air, water, soil during the cultivation process. And if you see the heavy metals, it comes even the soil also. Some of the soil, you will find that our soil is infested with heavy metals. And post-harvest processing also, what is called introduce a lot of heavy metals. And then if you come to the aflatoxin, this aflatoxin, because of the microbial contaminations and microbial infestation on this thing, you will find the aflatoxin, and that mostly comes under the storage and transportation. These are the places where it develops. Now come to the Indian system of medicine, the quality assurance of raw drugs of the finished product. There is a one line above. Below is above is that from medicinal plants coming raw drugs coming for the processing and for the finished product. and there in the down below that is the good manufacturing, but only good manufacturing practices if we introduce without thinking of the raw run, I think that your product cannot be that good what you are expecting. So that's why these are the system in our India is going on. That NMPB is mainly the scheme owner of the certification of the road drug, and then IU comes down when it goes to the good manufacturing practice. Uh, Now come to that new terminology you will often find in this sector. One is GSCP, what is the title has been given to me. But India, GSCP actually this was a document by WHO in 2003. They prepared a guideline that how GSCP should be. But if you look at that thing, that you will find that many of our things will not fit into the system. So that's why India, what we did the two documents guidelines. One is good agricultural practices. Another document we prepared the good field collection practices, because our national plants not only come from the forest. Many times you will find that outside of that agricultural land, there are places lying, and from where that toxin is coming. That's why we change the terminology to good good field collection practices instead of the forest collection practices, because it is not only the forest. And so these are the two documents we prepared, and as this is the two documents now you can get from the website also. Is there anything? Okay. So by harmonizing GSCP means the WHO guideline, the in 2009 India government means the NFPB and Ayush together, they prepared these guidelines for the GFP and GFCP and certification, but only the guidelines preparation is not going to help us until unless somebody third party is certifying it. So that in our country it is the only third party certification. The scheme owner cannot certify. The whoever has been produced. Suppose I have produced anything, I cannot certify that my things will be very good. So only third party should come forward, and here third parties are CBs. I will come into it later how certification is being done. Now that objectives of the GFP and GFCP, if you say that it is only the quality assurance, quality, safety, and efficacy, these are the three things assurance is required. That is the objective, and it prepares a standard operating system. It's either cultivation or collection, both the cases. The standard operating system has been prepared, and that has been given, like in the form of a monograph. And it also encouraged two things, because sustainability of in cultivation and collection both. Because today some species over harvesting and over collection, if you are doing in the from the forest, tomorrow it may not be available. So to avoid that kind of condition, that that is the main thing has been given in the 4 point focus, that is the sustainable cultivation and collection, and that too to help the conservation and environment also we have to look. Now, what is the purpose of GAP, GFC? That is again to guarantee the quality of raw drugs and quality of Indian system of medicine. Mainly, we have not for uh, modern medicine we are not concerned, and it is again that maximizing the sustainable output to ensure the sustainable availability of the drug. It should continue that. Now, key concern addressed by the GAP and GSF guidelines, if you see that, if you see there are 8, it is like a Buddha's Ashtangic mark. See, 8 points, eightfold path. So, eightfold path, what you see, first is the identification. You know that in Indian system of medicine, many times the Sanskrit text has, I will give an example of Sanskrit. You know there are 5 species used in one part or another in our country as a song to speak, sometimes convolvula, sometimes volvula. sometimes clitoria, like that, the different. So that is not when it goes to the market in modern the system of Indian system of medicine. We must know that I am using clitoria, so not Sankosh Pushpi. I will say that clitoria is the species, or convolvulus is the species. Like that, we have to go, and that correct identification is very important in the industry. And second thing is that hygiene and cleanness. This is the why it has been given very thing, because in our country we find that our awareness of hygiene and cleanliness is much less than many the more this one of the industrialist countries. And that's why it is that anything come into contact with the medicinal plant, that should be spotlessly clean. That is the thing. Any implement you are using, that should be clean before. Any no, even if you are using your hand, that should be clean before touching the medicinal plant, whatever you are doing, whatever the process you are taking. And the third thing is the prevention of contamination. What I told that these are the contamination prevention, heavy metal, pesticide, the aflatoxin. So those are the things have to be checked. In contamination has to be checked in the different process of our medicinal plants passing through. And fourth, yield also, because the cultivation is there, if yield is compromised, because when you are not following the good cultivation practices or good collection practices, it will be compromised. Because collection practices, you will find many times what happens to catch the market, the before maturity they are especially among those who are harvesting from the forest, you will many times find that it is immature uh, uh, things are being. So that way, not only that the quality is compromised, but also yield or the collectors, what is called the generation of income is also affected. So now coming to the efficacy, that cultivation cultivated in a suitable environment, that is important. Environment in the sense, that everything everywhere cannot be possible to give a good quality. You know that ashwagandha, if you see that the dry area of Madhya Pradesh and um, uh, Gujarat, Rajasthan, these are the area the quality of things will be better than if you grow the ashwagandha in Kerala or any other places. So every species has its own requirement, environmental requirement, that has to be taken care. And then what I have said, the sustainability, that unsustainable collection should be avoided, because mostly the collection it is the problem, and many times they harvest the entire, they cut the tree to harvest the fruit. Many times it has happened. So this kind of, and regeneration, all the time we have to think that these plants, whatever we are taking or harvesting, that their regeneration should be ensured, and that is those are the things taken up. And you know that today we are all talking about the traceability, and traceability is possible only when we have a good documentation. Whatever we do, if it is a documented, so then only, so that's why we are suggesting for the farmers there should be a farmer's diary, for the collectors they should have a collector's diary, and their every detail should be mentioned, so that it can be checked, rechecked, verified at a later stage also. And eighth, what is called step is the social and legal concern, because you know that when collection comes, there are many what is called the forest dweller, their rights and other things are there as per our law. So that also we have to see the local communities' interest. We have to always ensure, and traditional collection rules also have to be followed. All these things, government laws cannot be violated only for the correction, like that, and sustainable. Now come to that, these two documents, if you look into uh, this cultivation and collection, the matter comes after harvesting or collection. After that, it has also that talked about the primary processing, not secondary processing, primary processing, and packaging, storage, and transportation, and quality control, personnel, equipment. All these things have been discussed in these two documents. So these are the common, the primary processing, packaging, storage, transportation, quality control, personnel, equipment. These are the common for both after the material comes into. That's why I will deal in that way. Now come to that, what is GAP guidelines? Now let us examine one by one what are the GAP guidelines. The GAP guidelines here again up to the ecological environment of the production site. That is very important because I can give one example because we have done many experiments like a Google coming for a Veti or coming for a Mukul. You know that plant is a gum yielding, gum and resin plant. But if you if you grow it in Kerala, you won't get any resin there. We have tested it. So it again this species only you will find the best gum and gum and resin yielding is there in Madhya Pradesh, part of the Madhya Pradesh, not enter Madhya Pradesh. Uh, Especially Chambal area you will find, and then Madhya Pradesh, and then you will find in Gujarat and Rajasthan. These are the three, and it goes as adjoining to that Pakistan also it goes. So these are the areas where dry and very temperature, high temperature in the summer, low temperature in the winter. So there only you will find that gum resin production. Other places it is not there. So ecological environment of the production site is very important. That's why most of the people they think that oh it can be grown in Gujarat, why it cannot be grown in Kerala. So that kind of thing should not be there. And then seed and propagation material. If you see that in medicinal plant, it is not a one plant; it is a basket of species. So basket of species, its propagation is different. Some are grown by seed, some are grown by vegetative propagation, some are grown by sucker, some are grown by offset, like that. So we have to deal these things as species to species. We have to deal, and we have to deal also economically because here we have to see there are one species like a Sabed Sabbath mostly, if you say that it can be propagated by seed, it can be propagated by the root sucker. But question is that when you are going for the from the seed you are using, it takes such a long time, 5 to 6 years only. After that, you will get a produce. So it's economically not viable. So these are the things one has to see before going for. Now coming to the ecological environment production side, it should be suitable production site for medicinal plant and procurement of the material from the right production site. Those collectors, they should procure from the right collection site. And the environmental conditions for production site for the plant should confirm the relevant national standards of pharmacopy. If pharmacopy, because that is the thing, time to time they have to see that it actually the fulfill the requirement of the pharmacopoeia. Simple what is called volume is not going to help. The quality also in that way. The different this slide shows that now the different the propagation material are there, and it will be that again the propagation material when you are taking that it should be botanically verified. It should be it's the variety and other things when cultivation is there that should be traceable, and it should be accurately identified, and precautions to be taken for the seed. Also, these are the procedures have been has been given. It should be physically free from the pest and diseases, foreign material, and also inert matter. The seed should be pressed. That means now that it should not be stored for quite years after year. And then if you go and take it, that you will find the viability is not there. Viability is low. So these are the things. And recently collected seeds is always preferred. And seed treatment protocol, if it is required, sometimes the seeds are infected with the disease or insect. That time, seed treatment protocols are there. That also has been defined. And recommended agronomic practices and only healthy seedlings should be. Similarly, the vegetative propagation, what are the important things that it should be authenticated, botanically identified, and it should be quality propagation should be used. And second point, you should know that it should be uniform dimension because it should not be the one is having a no, our finger, no, thumb size, another is the little finger size. And that then you won't find the uniformity in harvesting time. You will find that that is so length and diameter it should be uniform. So these are the things all saplings when because you know that many places what we do we know small seeded medicinal plants especially we put it in the nursery first and after nursery growing the seedling for some time like a Andrographis paniculator the seeds are so small you cannot directly sow in the field so that's why we first go in nursery and then saplings are being transplanted when we're going to transplant that we must know that the size of the sapling should be uniform again. It should not be that one is 1 feet height, another is there no 6 inches. That should not be there. These are the things we have to do. Now, management of cultivation is again another important and its specific requirement for the growth and other things should be taken up. It starts from the land preparation. So land preparation again, it requirement from the species to species if you want to grow garlic the, or ginger, the land preparation will be different than if you have to grow isabgol and other land preparation will be different because the isabgol and other things require fine till, but ginger and other it may not require that much of till. So that's why 2 or 3 plowing will be enough for the ginger and other. But here, if you may go up to 3 to 4 plowing as per the soil conditions. So these are the things you have to. And one more thing also that you have to land preparation, you have to give a manure at the time of land preparation. So manures and fertilizer, there are two different categories. Manures are mostly the farmer manure or the organic matter, whatever it is, the oil cake and other things. So that should be better given at the time of land preparation. And other things, no, fertilizer can be applied top dressing at a later stage. So these are the things that happen. The nursery preparation also, it's a very important thing that nursery should be a raised nursery. It should not be like a plain, and it should be covered by the fine sand. It should be covered because small size seed. So and adversely affect the germination if the seeds are much deeper placed. So these are the things to look into. One has to take care. And we have prepared also do's and do not because mostly I am not showing entire thing. I'm just giving a glimpse of what is there in this document. The do's and do organic matter when you are giving, everything should be well composed. It should not be undecomposed things should not be given. If you give the undecomposed material, the plant will die because in the process of decomposition, a lot of temperature goes and the root will be what is called it will be root will be destroyed. Similarly, the sometimes you if you require that you can go for a laboratory testing and do not it's given because now you will find a lot of advertisement. City waste has been what is called converted into the man. But in medicinal plants, city waste is totally divided because the city waste is having lot of uh, heavy metal. So that's why city waste should not be given. Fresh cow dung should not be applied. Sometimes the night soil, some of the places, the night soil is used as a manure. That also is should be avoided. And compost made for that is the thing. What I have given the last. It should be. Similarly, sowing methods also has been given. The a good condition, free from the pest and reliable sources. It should be on the correct time. It should not that if timing is required in the June month, I should not sow in July or August like that. And seed treatment is required. If it is required, it should be. Then main thing is then in the this cultivation, the distance between plant to plant and row to row. It is also very important. You cannot make the plant more crowded by reducing these things. So that is also important. And gap filling is also another when you are transplanting. You will find that 20%, almost 10 to 20% plants will die even after. So that gap filling should be done quickly. Now stem cutting and root cutting also these are the uniformity is more important, and then healthy cuttings and free from disease and insect pest has to be ensured. Manure and fertilizer, but you have to the organic manure for growing medicinal plants is more suggested. Compost and vermicompost can be used. Microbial fertilizer also is admissible here. And inorganic fertilizer, it is as per the requirement. I will give you an example of isopur. If you are giving more than 30 kg of nitrogen, the isopur quality will go. It will not be a good quality. It will not be absorbing it. If the husk will not absorb much more water. So this kind of quality compromise will be there if you are not doing. And again, this is a glass city waste and night well should not be used, and fresh cow dung should not. Irrigation, again, it's an important issue. It should be again as per the requirement of the species. This will require maximum 3 irrigation, not more. But you know the Bacopa moneri, which is called Brambi, it requires a completely in a rice field you can go. So where water technique. So this kind of that thing, I have a more resource that should not be given, because many times the farmers they feel that I have a resource, more resource I can use, that probably I can get a better yield. Instead of it becomes just reverse. That if you are giving even ashwagandha, if you give more fertilizer, ashwagandha is best. Ashwagandha comes from the zero fertilizer. So that is the thing. Yeah. Uh, Low fertility soil is good for the ashwagandha. Similarly, weeding and interculture operations are very important, because this also an important weeding, because it will compete with the main crop. That's why first weeding as a thumb rule that one has to do after 20 days of transplanting or seeding, whatever it is there, and 15 to 20 days then as per the result. But this first weeding is very important, because that time our main crop also will be at a juvenile stage. So that's why competition they may not overcome, and that's why you need that. And mulching also sometimes we are allowing, because mulching is a good weed control. And do not use chemical herbicide. Here it is a totally banned in medicinal. So no herbicide should be used for weed control, and do not allow the weeds to produce the seeds. That is the main thing. That if you are allowing the weeds not to produce their seed, and because they are prolific production, so millions of seeds they produce. So that's why it is always approved this weed before they are flowering, and allow the soil to dry up, and due to the excessive weeding, that also you have to have. Pest management is very important, because pesticide residue comes from the pest management, whatever you are taking. That's why the pest management in medicinal plants, we always advise that take the help of the what is called pathologist or entomologist, because these are very specific area. Uh, and organic pesticides also can be used, but predatory insects and birds also should be encouraged, because that's called biology control. Integrated pest management comprising everything, adjusting the time of sowing, adjusting the interculture operation, adjusting the other things also, like biological control agents and other things applying. So if you can do it, that is the best thing. And as a last resort, only the pesticide has to be. But one more thing one has to see, that when you are using the pesticide, you should see that every pesticide is having a waiting period. A waiting period means after that, the pesticide residue cannot be detected. So that waiting period, one, if they are following, probably that has to be encouraged all the time. That if you have used pesticide on such and such date, if its waiting period is 90 days, please wait 90 days to take it to the market and get it for you. So then only the product quality, they will not be pesticide, will not be detected. Harvesting, again, it also compromise. If you are not doing properly, then also that quality will hamper. one is the cleaning of all tools before. Even if you are using the sickle for harvesting, then you must clean your sickle, remove the weeds first. That is the first rule, what I have said, and harvest at the right stage. This is very important. Many crop, there is a physiological maturity. It does not look that it has been matured, but physiological maturity had been attended. So those species you have to do that thing using the physiological maturity, and then quality will be uniform. Otherwise, the quality will be compromised. And freshly harvested green leaf husk in the state, it should be drying in the state, and clean container sack. This I will be talking again. The primary processing when it comes, the threshing air, wherever the seeds, mainly the seeds, the protection against the dust, rain, rodent, insect, and livestock. This has to be ensured. And do not choose the site that is anywhere near the potential source of contamination. And do not choose the processing site that is a long distance from the place of, because you know the mean, if your harvesting place, sorry, processing unit is much a distant place, then you will find compromise that quality. And washing and cleaning, again you have to see, you have to understand that which are the things to be washed. Seeds are not being washed, but roots, when you are uprooting, it has to be washed, because even the whole plant sometimes, it has to be washed, because a lot of dust will be there, soil particles will be there. So that's why that you have to decide and clean. When you are going for washing, it should be clean water should be there, and repeated washing should be there, 2 tubs, 3 tubs, 4 tubs, like that. That kind of washing should be there. And use the high powered spray nodules also sometimes, if you can use, because sometimes sticky mud will be there in the root when you are uprooting something, and that kind can be used. And do not wash seeds and delicate flowers. Sometimes flowers are used, that you should not go for washing. Not wash plant parts, unclean surface water also. That also, not use the dirty uncleaned water. Washing should be by the clean water, not the. And drying is very again important, because drying is the process where the aflatoxin or microbial growth also can improve if your drying is not proper. So that is the reason the drying, build a suitable drying system. It is not necessary that you have to have a sophisticated drying all the time, but you can have a solar dryer, you can have an oven drying. But these are the cost. Yeah, one has to see that raw drugs, how much they sell in the market, what is the economics of that. That also. But I will show you that some of the interesting, I have, when we were going through the whole country, that farmers are innovatively, they are already developed the drying system. You see that these are the drying systems many farmers they are using. It's a tire, in different tires they are putting the material, and but under no circumstances it should be dried on the soil. That's the main point. If you have to, that you cannot make all the structure, what you have to do, you have to put a tarpaulin, and then keep a space also in between, so that you can work to turn it sometimes. And but again, when you are going inside with the legs, that leg should be again clean. And drying temperature I have already given. I think this will be provided to you as a material, so you can get all these things. And these are the things you have to avoid at the time of drying. One is direct sun drying. As far as possible, if you can avoid, then your quality will be better. And bad weather, you have to protect. Sometimes we have put it in the dryer, then all of a sudden rain is coming. In that time, you have to protect that one. And the strong wind, wherever it is there, you have to see that those areas, some barriers will be there. The strong wind is there, a lot of dust will go there. And staking crowded, overcrowding in the staking, when you are staking the different, the overcrowding should be avoided, and the direct soil you should avoid all the time. Now, sorting and packing and storage and transportation, these are all. The sorting is should be carried out after drying and before the material is packed. Remove all substandard material and any other foreign matter. That is the sorting. and separate the plant parts into the different grades according to their size, then you will find that they can take a little better income in the market, because everything assorted, if they are going taking and they are getting it, say A grade material, it's a B grade material, it's a C grade material, they can get better income. So that is the thing you have to do. So this is the thing what I have said. Do not place your feet and other thing directly with it, because this is the andrographic manipulator. Somebody, it's a big firm I have seen. So their shoes, you will find that the shoes are being also, with the shoes they have got. And the andrographic manipulator is not worth when it goes to the industry directly. It goes for use for medicine people. It is not worth before that. So this kind of things. Then packaging, it's a farmer's level or collector's level. The clean sacks should be used for processing, not that many times that farmers use what is called fertilizer bag, used fertilizer bag. So those are should not be done. These are the things to be uh, do not previously been used. Store agrochemicals, anything is there that should not be used unless they are completely dead, and don't pack any herbs until they are uh, completely dried as per the requirement of the that species. And storage, again, it's a place where, as I said, the aflatoxin is built up. Also that a lot of damage is being done in the storage by rodents and other things. Never use any rodenticide or any pesticide inside the, if any have to, because to control the rodents, you should not give the rodenticide inside the storage, because that will again, because the rodents, after taking that pesticide, rodenticide, they will be again going to different medicinal herbs, and you will find that that is contaminated. And raise sack of ground. It should not be put into the ground. Keep the sack away from the wall. That is a rule again, that because if you are touching to the well, you will find that moisture accumulation will be there, and that kind of and level the sack clear. So when it is harvested, what is the species and what is the quantity, like that, and keep different species separate, not that taking one after that. It should be separate place for different. Now come, do not use the rat poison, what I have already said. Now transportation comes, that now in the especially in the villages, you will find that they are transporting their animals, they are transporting some bags of the herbs, and also the poison, I mean the pesticides and other things together in the same tractor. Uh, so that should be avoided. That if you are taking the medicinal plants or herbs, you should not accommodate other things what has been given in this picture. Now, quality control, this has talked about the quality control, this document, but here the feasibility is, to my understanding, is very, very rare, because they are talking of where you should have a man who is highly qualified, who understands everything, farmers level. These are the things not possible. But one thing is possible, that the farmers, those who are engaged in medicinal plants, they can be trained time to time. So that is possible. But the all quality control manpower and other things are not possible at this stage. The personnel and equipment, what it is talking about, the basic understanding of everything, there should be there. This is not possible. Cultivation, the personnel working the field should have a good knowledge of cultivation. Already farmers are having adequate knowledge so far the cultivation is concerned. And persons involved in processing, packaging, and inspection should have a medical checkup and regular intervention. That is important, because those who are suffering from infectious diseases, they should not be allowed to come in contact with the herbs. That is important thing. Now, coming to the traceability through record keeping, what I said, that traceability can be ensured if how we maintain our record properly, and all the activities are documented in those. This documentation, we told that there should be a farmer's diary, and we have also insisting that they should harvest tags also should be there, is this thing. And for the collectors, they should have collectors there, you should tell that which area they have collected. We are going to that. I will come again. There should be detailed record kept. Even if there is a cultivation, you will come off here. This year, no heavy rain is going on everywhere. So that should be recorded in the purpose diary that we got a continuous 3 months rain. So if quality is compromised, that one can trace out that what has happened. So like that now self-assessment criteria also we have given, because when farmers are growing something, they should also know that my material what I am producing, whether it can get certificate or it cannot get a certificate. So that's why we have all the things what we have told, that every point has been uh, uh, mentioned as a major, critical, or minor. They have been defined. Like right identification of plant material. This is very critical. So if your material is not rightly identified, you cannot get a certificate. So like that, it has been done. So a farmer or collector, he himself can find out a self-assessment criteria he fulfills for certificate. There is a with the medicinal what is called our NMPB. So far, almost 54 it was there, probably 55. Uh, the GAP documents are available. The POP in the package of practice. GAP package of practice. So that has been already ready. There are like a 24 annual, and there are 23 the 2 to 5 years of species, and then 3 species like that is available. Uh, uh, Now come to the good collection practices. Quickly, I'll take it. The principles here, good collection practices, is the sustainability, the collection regulation, because in our country, lot of regulations are there in state to state. So each state they should follow prevention of contamination and degradation of damage. That is also there, and optimization of active ingredient uh, through the collection site, through collection time, through maturity. Right maturity, if you are assessing that this active ingredient optimization is possible, and documentation and traceability is also a part of it. Now, guidelines of good collection practices, permission to collect, because you know that every state, uh, especially in the forest, they have a what is called forest management committee. The forest management committee gives the permission to harvest the material species as per the availability. So those are the things, has to be permission has to be taken. Those who are collecting, they should collect the permission from the forest management committee or whatever committee in that state is having, and then they should, and then technical planning they should have the population density target species. If they are going for collection, if they don't find the sufficient material in that area, that will be a waste also. The essential information, collection of site information. Similarly, the familiarity of the collection team also they should have, and social impact they should have. And selection of medicinal plant for collection should be as per the purpose. This is very clearly it has been taken, not collection. And collection practices should ensure the sustainability should be done during the appropriate season. Only ecological, non-destructive system of harvesting should be there, and implements or collection must be appropriate. So that was, and guidelines again continued. It is a social consideration also one has to consider before collection. Now planning for collection, obtain the collection permit from the relevant authorities, explore the area before collection. That is, ensure there is an experienced collector available in that area. Take clean sacks and other things, and pack. There is a diary and labels also should be taken. Collection time, it should be right time they should collect, and collection site also they should know that this is the place where from I can collect. Like a graveyard and other that places, sometimes in the aloe vera you will find that lot of around the graveyard. That is not permissible to collect from that. So these are the things, collection method already I have given. Harvest the plant in a dry weather, not that in wet weather you should go for collection. Harvest at the right time and ensure the maximum levels of active ingredient. Ensure that your collection methods are sustainable and do not have the negative impact on environment. All these things you have to follow. And wherever you do not know that the regeneration of that species, 70% only collect, 30% leave. So if that is not there, then you will find. Now coming to the certification process, all these what is called standards or guidelines is not going to help until unless the certification, because the industry needs a certification. They cannot go and what is called examine everybody's field or every collector's the method of. So they need a certified material, and that certification process is in India. It's the third party certification, and there are certification uh, available. It's a voluntary certification for medicinal plant produce. It is there. There are two levels of certification are there. Level one, it's the individual farmer, individual collector can. There is a level two. It's a what is called it's a no, sorry, here I just confused a little bit. Level one is as per the GACP. We have a given annexure at bill collection practices. We have TLC profiling is the N for the first as per. But second level is the certification is available. That is as per the Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia, as per the Unani pharmacopoeia of India, and homeopathy pharmacopoeia. So these are the two levels of certification available. Now, who can get the certificate? Here is the option one, option two, option three. Option one is individual. Farmers, they can go. And option two is a group, a producer group, a collector group. So they can collectively go for a certification of the species. Third is the option three. I am an individual thing. I grow 4 or 5 species of medicinal plant, but I will only want to take a certificate of for endogamy. So option C, then it will be not that entire farm and all these things. And option four is there. It is the intermediary like in a trader. Suppose I have taken a certificate of good agricultural practices. I will give it to the trader, and trader will take it because because it is entire chain. No, that is the storage transportation. So trader will take further to storage and transportation because farmers are not storage, collectors are not storage. So that's why the option four will be applied for those. They will take the material, certified material in their storage, and they will get a certification for their storage period or transportation period, and they will get a certificate. Ultimately, when they will take it to the market, they will say that this is in that chain has been certified. So that's the level four. It is there. The who is authorized to issue the certificate? This is an important thing you must know that certifications shall be carried out third-party certification bodies. Certification bodies are there, and these certification bodies are again certified by the Quality Council of India. They have a NABCB, a National Accredited Board for Certifying Body. NABCB. So NABCB is the Quality Council control thing. So they certify a CB, and CB will certify the producer. So that is the way, and its certification is because IEC, either ISO or IEC 1765, because that is the criteria for their certification. Now, requirement for certification bodies are there. This must be a registered as a legal entity. They cannot be just individual. I cannot apply for CB. You have to have a company, a legal entity. I have to have under government of India. But except there is a government is coming. Sometimes the government is coming as a certifying body, like Andhra Pradesh Agriculture University is a certifying body for medicinal plants also. Even the Sikkim government also came forward for there it is exempted and they are government, so no registered or legal that will be considered as a legal entity of and CB CB cell certain certification criteria, auditing, testing the produce is accredited level. They have to test whatever the testing is, the pesticide review testing. They cannot go anywhere and test. They have to go for accredited laboratory, NABL accredited laboratory. Again, those laboratories are certified by this quality control. And enter system of CB's compliance will be 17025 of it. So that is the criteria. And certification agreement, these are the process that they have to do. Responsibility for certification decision is management of impartiality with the CBs, mechanism of safeguarding the impartiality also should be CBs. So these are the criteria for the CBs. CB shall maintain a website for providing information about. So that also it is there that they have. Now evaluation criteria, as I said, now that entire SOPs have been classified as critical, major, and minor. Some are minor, some are critical, some are major. All these, whatever you will be doing, and you will find that this is just example I have given. A site is free from toxic elements such as the industrial waste and effluent. Uh, it is information. It is a major. It's a major level of compliance. And similarly, last one, if you see the 3.1, the planting material accompanied with name, botanical name, this is the key. So here now come to that certification process when somebody will be applying. It will be first registration of application will be there, then evaluation of the site. CB will go to their site and see, and then the testing of the samples because sometimes water testing, soil testing is required. So that will be done by the CBs, and the grant of certificate will be done after that. And then periodical surveillance. Once given the certificate, then also surveillance will be there for 3 years. These certificates are given for 3 years. So surveillance must be there. And market sample they have to collect time to time, and they have to surveillance. And then renewal of certificate is possible. So this is the chain, the certification system. And checklist for self-assessment, what I have shown there, this is also again I have given. Now coming to the level of compliance, that how much critical has to be followed, how much major has to be followed. Critical 100% one has to follow, otherwise even if it is a one is missing, certificate would not be there. But major 90% compliance, all major control points is a 90%, but they will be given a chance to rectify whatever 10% if they are doing. But minus 70% compliance, this is the criteria has to be given, and there is a rectification. Also, time is given. There are certain things, certain major things can be rectified. So that time also will be given, and compliance to contaminant. Their annexer D is already available with that, and TLC profiling if it is needed, because pharmacopoeia says that TLC is there, and testing as per the EPA, other things are required for the certification. Second level 2, that is. If you got challenges need to be addressed, this is the way forward. But I feel that you have to make a lot of awareness among the stakeholders because still stakeholders are not very convinced that this kind of certification is very important to improve the quality of the medicines what they are doing. There are more than one player in certification chain. What I said, somebody growing, somebody storing, somebody is transporting. So this chain, entire chain has to be taken care. But as on today, I tell you that we are very much concerned only the collector and the storage chain, and that linkage has not been thoroughly worked out. I must confess. And but I understand also that this, if it is implemented in the right spirit, there are a lot of what is called uh, uh, what the generation will be there in the villages, because you know the 10 past 20%, because farmers cannot maintain the farmer's diary meticulously, whatever the things will be there. So one village, the two boys or two girls, they can take care of the 10 or 15 cultivators, and their what is called farmer's diary, they can maintain and job creation also. And it can create ensuring the higher price, but enter certification will be possible, it will be feasible if the industry is ready to give at least the premium price. Wherever it is there, it's working. Wherever it is not there, that certification will not be there. And this is the website I think that you can get, you can go, you can visit. You will find all information what I have given in detail. So only I have given a glimpse of what is there. But both the website you can go and you can find the detailed information there. And it is the last part. It's my acknowledgement. I must acknowledge the pharmacopoeia for giving me this opportunity to be before you, and Quality Council of India, because I was associated with for preparing all the standards and other things. So that way, I am still in their advisory board. National Medicinal Plant Board also they have done EAP thing, and Indian Council of Agricultural Research, because I came from the Indian and FAO I gave acknowledge their things, because under the FAO the GSCP trainers manual, Ben Heron and myself we prepared, and some of the sketches and other things what you have seen that I have taken from. So with this, I can say that this is a area we have to go. Thank you for your presence hearing, and many miles to go. I think that is the message here. Thank you. So any questions? The- website it is available. It's updated. No, it is not there. You won't get that yet. You will get only the information that these are the states, these are the quantity of this species has been certified. That kind of. That is the government has to take. I was telling, even if you know that no, a country like uh, Bangkok, Thailand. Thailand, every herbal material is a certified. They cannot sell anything else. So, but India has still, we are going as a voluntary. And when it is a voluntary, you know very well that it is not compulsory, nobody. Some people will follow. Like now, I will tell you, I don't want to name some of the industry, big industry. They have established their brand name. So under that brand name, they are very comfortable as on today. So that's why they are not coming forward for this kind of thing. And then one more issue is there that also has to be solved. One issue, suppose I am an industry. I have a product of 10 products. And 10 products need, suppose the 100, okay? But 100 species certified material you won't get. So until unless they get a product by a product, suppose 10 species are there, they get only 8 species or 5 species. Another for one of 2 species certification, they cannot get that no product. So they can truly say that it is certified. So this also has to be solved. I think industry can come forward how they can solve. No, the question is that some of when foreign exporting things, so they are exporting the material uh, 2, 3 species or 4 species. So their certification is easily. But when you say that I will export 100 species, 100 species certification, as on today is not. As on not, with all machinery we want to. It's a growing, it's a slowly growing. And then industry is not, many industry is not ready to pay the premium. That is okay. I have a case like a one big pharmaceutical company, modern medicine. They were using the Sena, you know, Sena and they personally contacted that you get some certified. I told that I will, and also there will be somebody something done it. Once the farmers got it, but they are not ready to procure the material with the, and initially they told no 20% premium price will be. So these kind of things are there. So we have to see that how things are working.
So good afternoon, everyone. You know that I hope that you all are enjoying the lectures starting today, but the formal inaugurational function is going to be very soon in the pocket 2 in the auditorium. So after taking the tea, within 5 to 10 minutes, we have to move there as soon as possible. So we all will get there. There we will get the introduction of each other, and all our trainers also will be at that place. So thank you very much again. I think you will enjoy these training 5 days training programs, and it is not a formal only the lectures has to be given, but you have to interact with each other, maybe with the speakers, but also you can also get the information with each other also, that what type of things is going on at your places, and because this is the place where we can learn a lot, and up to the end of our life we have to learn more and more. Thank you very much.
Request director sir to kindly give the to our guest speaker.
As soon as possible.